Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Sin City TV. Come watch TV with me. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Sin City TV. Get on ahead and come watch TV with me. First of all, I just want to start off this video by saying Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I hope you all had a blessed and prosperous 2025, and I hope that 2026 is even better for you, okay? I really want that for y'all. One of my personal goals in 2026 is the same as last year, to be more consistent with my content, to make bigger, better content, start taking more risks to create my content. Just, up in the ante a little bit for myself and definitely being more consistent. It is so hard as a working adult for me to sit down and take the time to really be as consistent with posting every single day. But I'm going to try my best to make this year my year for real. But anywho, on to the real reason why I'm making this video. This is going to be my Stranger Things series finale wrap up. Okay, now that the finale has aired, which I thought was amazing. Okay, I could sit down, talk about it. Let's get some things out in the open. Okay, let's get into some things. So I just want to start off by saying I rate the series finale a strong 8 out of 10. Were there things that I didn't like or things that I wish were done differently? Of course. I'm a consumer. Of course. But overall, I think it was beautifully done, especially that 40-minute epilogue. I know a lot of people didn't like that. Like, I get it, but for real, Stranger Things fans who really and truly love these characters, it was everything. So let me start off by talking about what I didn't like. Why my baby Erica Sinclair wasn't in this finale for more than 5 minutes? Like, I get it. At the end of the day, she's a secondary character. I know. I'm no fool. I understand. But like, they could have utilized her more in the finale. I just feel like she didn't get enough, like, for her character individually. I know that her character is not, like I said, I know she's a secondary character, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more. Give her maybe 10, 15 extra minutes of a little, maybe her and Lucas having a moment or something like that. Her and Dustin, something, I would have loved just a little bit more Erica. And also, I've talked to a few people and I've been on social media to see people's complaints about why they didn't like the finale. Nobody's complaints have been more valid than my brother's. I picked my brother up yesterday, and I was like, "So, what did you think about the finale?" And he didn't respond to me immediately. So I said, "Oh God," I said, "Well, what's wrong? Like, what you didn't like?" And now he's been a fan since it came out. Like, him, and my sister. He's the reason why I started watching Stranger Things in the first place. It was his suggestion. Okay, so he's been a fan, hardcore. So I'm ready to debate. I'm ready to debate him down. Like, the finale was good. It was everything. But his reasons were so valid. All I could do was go, okay, okay. I can't even listen. So what he didn't like about it, he was pretty much saying he feels like the way the story built up the mind flayer to be this big bad, like hive mind, like the one that controls everything, controls Henry, controls with like the main big bad. The way they built it up, that our party should not have been able to defeat the mind flayer so fast. It was just a very quick defeat. He felt like the demodog should have been there. He felt like not a demodog in sight. Like, come on, like, this is the final battle. It should have been more. It should have took them longer. There should have been a little bit more loss. He felt like the stakes were so high and we didn't take a loss, like, at all. And he said some other things, but his main concern was just the build up to this main fight, and for it to have been won so quickly. He felt really disappointed in that. And I couldn't even debate him about it because I get what he's saying. It was not a long final battle. So I was kind of rushed. So I understood him. Even though I didn't necessarily agree, I understood what he was saying. Now, let's talk story. I, Sin, as Kali's defense attorney, will accept all of you guys' apologies on her behalf. Apologize to my girl, because I have been a Kali defender from moment one. Okay? Now, I admitted in volume 2 that I didn't trust her, but I also said that she was not wrong. She was not wrong in feeling the way she felt. at all. She's absolutely 100% correct. Okay? Dr. Brenner, his project, they would have kept trying to recreate them kids. They had Elle dead to rights after they got out into the magazine at the end. Like when they got out of the Upside Down, they had her dead to rights. She was caught. She was got. There was no getting around it. That was it for her. So Holly was right. They would have just kidnapped Elle, took her, and that would have been the end of it. They would have used her blood to make more, and that would have been the end of it. So she was not wrong. Okay? She was also traumatized. She had her childhood taken away from her. And you could see that hot speech that he gave to Elle after they tricked him, after Henry tricked him, and he beat Elle out the container. When he was giving her that speech, you could tell it was hitting Kali too. Like she started to realize, like, yeah, I am traumatized. I did get my childhood stolen from me. Like, hello, y'all made her into this big bad villain when she was really just a victim. R.I.P. girl. As your defense attorney, I will hold you down out here in the real world, sis. Now, one thing that they could have done that really would have pissed me off, and I probably would have been on the side of the Stranger Things fandom that was not happy with this finale, is if they would have redeemed Henry. That would have pissed me off. Like that, I could not get with. Like when Will was talking to him, and it looked like he was like getting to him, I was like, don't piss me off. Don't do this. Like, don't do this, because all of this shit would have been for naught. Like, ooh, it would have made me so mad. I'm so happy that they teeter-tottered on that line and they didn't take it there, because I would have been livid. Okay? So I'm very happy that they decided to not go that route. Now, I know a lot of people felt like this, like my brother included, like the stakes were so high and for nobody to have died, like, was silly. But I personally didn't have a problem with it. I don't want any of them to die. I love them all so much. Like, I wouldn't want that for any of them. There doesn't have to be a dramatic death for me to feel connected to a story. The Stranger Things has never been that, though. If we really being honest, if we keeping it a buck, Stranger Things has never killed off one of the main leading characters. Season 1, it was Barb, okay, who was only in the show for a hot 2 episodes, okay? And do we really care about Barb? No, not for real. Not for real. Let's be honest, okay? Season 2 was Bob. We love Bob. We love Bob for Joyce. He was such a sweet man. Okay, he helped them. We love Bob, but sorry, honey, you didn't deserve that. But R.I.P. Alexi in season 3. Alexi was a love. We fell in love with Alexi, silly little Russian stove. But it was Alexi, okay? Season 4 was like the one time where they really took it though. Because we fell in love hardcore, head over heels with Eddie. But again, he was not one of the main characters. Okay? So like they didn't veer off the beaten path without killing anybody. I don't think. It didn't bother me. Not one little bit. I did think they was gonna get ready to get Steve the fuck up out of here though. And I was, like the gasp that gasped me was crazy. But Jonathan saving him was definitely a beautiful moment because it was Jonathan. Like when you saw the hand at first, I thought it was Dustin. And I was like, well, he done pull some super strength from somewhere. But then when it cut to Jonathan, I was like, oh, like it was a really emotionally powerful scene. Because the two of them and everything they've gone through, having that moment was very character defining. And I loved it. And of course, there were a couple more jump scares, like when Lucas saved Dustin with the roll and scoop. Come on, my boy. When I thought Elle was toast, but Will came through with the he came through, you know what I'm saying? So I was pleased. I was very pleased with it. I didn't think the deaths were necessary. Now let's talk about Nancy with her big sister energy real quick. Nancy has never been a favorite character of mine. I never really related or connected to Nancy at all. She's always been like my bottom 3 when it comes to my least favorite characters. But this season, she really impressed me with the way that she was really like, she stepped into her big sister, eldest daughter role and held that shit down. Because when they came up with the plan to help Elle with the mind flare, she didn't pause or wait or nothing when they said who's gonna be the prey. She was like, bitch, me. Nancy Wheeler with the stick. Okay, and she got to it, got to business. But as far as like best character development, or like one of the best character developments in the entire series, I'm gonna definitely give one of them spots to Nancy. Nancy Wheeler definitely changed for the better with the series. Like I said, this season she really impressed me a lot. Because there have been seasons where I wanted to strangle Nancy, season 3 in particular. Okay. Now, if you follow my content and you watch my videos, you already know Dustin is my child. He is my favorite. That is my baby. Okay. And I'm very, very proud of my son and his development and the way that he came out of this series. Valedictorian. Give my baby his tens. Yes, yes. We very smart ones over here. Okay. And he really got turned every which way but loose emotionally this season. And it really was beautiful to watch his journey going through grief and the way that he processed his trauma. It came out very angry, and it happens a lot of the times. He pushed everybody away instead of asking for help or reaching out to them for help. He pushed them away. And I think that's a very realistic trauma response for a child, especially a child who's a nerd. It was hard for him. He looked up to Eddie. Eddie was like an older version of himself. And losing him, especially when like the other person you look up to is this popular asshole. Steve could be a jerk, but that still was Dustin's boy. But having an older version of himself to look up to, it was a lot for him. It was a lot for him, and I'm happy that him and Steve were able to fix that, because it was breaking my heart when they fought in volume 2. Well, when Steve let Dustin hit him in volume 2, it really hurt my feelings. But they needed that. They had to get that out. And then when Dustin was able to finally communicate to him, like, please stop doing it. I need you. Like, I can't lose you too. It was emotional and I loved it. And I'm proud of Dustin. I'm proud of him. So proud of him. He really grew. Max and Lucas Endgame. I love it. I love it. They're such an adorable couple, and they've really grown on me. I am not a shipper of teenage ships or child ships. I'm a grown ass woman. I just can't get there emotionally to connect enough to even care enough to be like, oh, I ship that. I can't. Not with kids. But Max and Lucas are just so cute and so adorable, and the fact that they were together from kids into teenagers, and they have this trauma bond that hopefully, trauma bonds are not always great. They're not always good, but hopefully theirs doesn't ruin their relationship. But in my mind, they're going to be together forever. And I just think that they're so cute and perfect for each other. Seeing them have their little happy ending. They finally got their freaking movie date. Okay. I just love them. I think they're so cute. And I'm so happy that they got each other. They got each other back. They got back to each other. They found their way back to each other. Cause listen, the way Lucas Sinclair held Max down, y'all better listen. Men, step it up. Step it up. Hopper and Joyce finally getting their little empty nest. These kids is done driving them crazy, and they can finally live a nice, quiet, engaged life. I love Hopper and Joyce. I I probably wanted more of them from this season too, even though I know this show ain't about them. It's about them kids. But I love Hopper and Joyce, and I would have loved a couple of little kiss scenes or something. I don't know. But I'm happy that they got I'm happy that they got engaged. I'm happy that they can now take time to pour into themselves as individuals and as a couple, because them kids is at the house. These kids that caused this mess, okay, they're gone. And now Hopper and Joyce can be just alone and adult and find each other and find themselves. I love that for them. Love it. And Hopper, his development also I would have to put up there as one of the best character developments in this series, because even though he's still a grumpy old man, he found a better, healthier way to deal with his grief as well, because we met Hopper in the midst of grief. He wasn't over it at all, and then he had to go through it and experience it all over again. So I think that he ended in a beautiful place. I really think he did, and I loved that he was able to give Elle the feeling of having a father. It was just beautiful. A Hopper. He came full circle for me. Now let's talk about the 11 of it all. Okay, let's talk about Elle's ending. Because like I said, I always, when Kali came and she said what she said, I always thought that she was right. I didn't think she was wrong. I agreed with her 100%. Like I said 1,000 times, they would have restarted Brenner's program once they got Elle, and they had her ass dead to rights when they came out the Upside Down. She was caught. She was got. It was over. It was over with. Her only choice or chance was staying in the Upside Down and going away with it. Or if Mike's theory is correct, going off to live a life, unfortunately, without the people that she loves. Do I believe that Mike's theory is correct? Yes, of course. Of course. I want Elle to be happy. I want Elle to have a happy ending just like everybody else. I do believe Mike's theory, and that's the theory I'm going with for 11's future. 11 is somewhere off in Switzerland with her 3 waterfalls, making new friends every day. Okay, she's a backpacker. Okay, that's what I see for 11. But I definitely think that that was her only option. There was no other choice for her. They had her. She was got. Okay, so if you didn't like Elle's ending, I don't know what else you wanted for her. If you wanted her to be hanging up there like Holly was, getting stripped of her blood every day and recreating children to go through the same exact thing, like that was the only option. And I loved the ending. I loved those quiet moments where we finally got to wrap up these characters' stories that we've been with for 10 years. Okay, I loved the graduation scene. Dustin did exactly what Eddie would do. Okay, I loved the rooftop scene. I've seen a lot of people say that they didn't like the rooftop scene, and again, to each his own. You know, it was kind of long, and to each his own. Everybody's not gonna like everything, but to me, the rooftop scene, um, it just it showed you what happens when you like young adults, especially in the 80s. There were no cell phones, there were no like ways to communicate. Like, yeah, we're gonna plan to meet each other every month, but I bet you it's not gonna happen. Like, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment for them. And I feel like Nancy, Robin, Jonathan, and Steve were just as important as the younger kids in the show and telling the story of the show. So I loved their rooftop scene. I thought it was a beautiful ending for the 4 of them to plan to see each other once a month, but we all know it's not going to happen. And then the final scene, all of them playing D&D one last time. Oh my God. I was cheesing from ear to ear. Like, look at my babies. They're all grown up, but they're still them same little kids. Oh, and it just, the song that came to mind, like while those scenes, the rooftop scene and the D&D scene, was like "The Kids Are All Right" by Chloe and Holly. Like, the kids are all right. They're going to be okay. Oh, it was beautiful. And then seeing all of them so emotional, you know, you could tell that they were acting, yeah, but they were bringing a lot of themselves to it as well. That's always going to happen when you're wrapping up a show, especially when that's been going on for so long. It's hard to keep your real emotions out of it, especially like that final scene. So I just think that it was beautifully done. And then Holly and Derek and all the kids coming down, um, playing D&D, like just the cycle of life, you know, the way it just keeps going. And the freaking kids are all right. Okay, they're gonna be okay. I really loved it. I swear, 8 out of 10 for Stranger Things. This show has been around for a long time. And I know that, you know, there's been long gaps in the seasons and whatever. That shit's minute to me. Like, it happened. It's hard out here. Okay, stop acting like it ain't hard at your job too. Hollywood is the same. It's hard. But I think that they did a phenomenal job bringing it all to a close. Um, Tap into the comments. Let me know what you thought about the series. Let me know what you're watching now. Like, let's just talk. Like I said, it's 2026. I'm going to try to be more consistent on here. This is going to be my first drop of the year. I'm going on YouTube as well. I'm just trying to do bigger and better in this new year. And I hope you guys follow. Subscribe, like, follow me, talk to me, comment. I comment back. And let's make this a place where we can all come together. Come together and talk about these shows that we love so much. I feel like I couldn't end it on that note. I didn't say enough. I feel like I left out on an incomplete sentence. Bye, y'all.